By the way, I guess I'll just put it here. These are two books that I've read throughout the years, and I just reread them to prepare for this series that I've been doing. And they're two very different books. One comes from a very moderate perspective. The other one comes from a progressive perspective. But the first one is Mr. Rogers, The Simple Faith of Mr. Rogers. It's a very moderate look, and it just focuses, and they're very good in different ways, and I appreciated them in different ways. Really focused on his simple faith, like his relationship with God and prayer and neighborliness and forgiveness and heaven and his gentle, contemplative, mystical faith. That's the kind of Christian he was, basically. They focused on that, and I appreciated that. The other one just looked at him as like he's an American prophet, not like an aggressive, polarizing prophet, but more of a gentle, kind prophet who used the TV as a ministry to embody pacifism. Did you know that Mr. Rogers was a pacifist? Did not believe in war, didn't believe in just war, and believed in racial inclusion, advocating for the poor, gender equality, and challenging all kinds of stereotypes, as I'll mention later on. And they just saw his faith as countercultural. So, but both of them come up with this, that Mr. Rogers had this kind, gentle faith that was countercultural. And it made an impact. And that's why he said, be kind, be kind, be kind. That is the message. That is the message of the good news. And maybe he said it, be kind, because we need to be kind to ourselves first. Maybe that's the first step. And be kind to others, the second step. And then be kind to the world, working for justice, because there are people that need a courageous act of kindness on behalf of them. So maybe be kind involves those three things. I have just two meditations this morning on this idea of won't you be my neighbor. The first one is this. What does that look like? What does kindness look like? Love looks like kindness, and kindness looks like love. If you were to ask me, well, what's love in practical ways? I would say kindness. And then if you were to ask me, well, what's kindness? It's just another way to love. So love looks like kindness, and that's why Mr. Rogers said this. Love is at the root of everything. Doesn't that sound biblical too? All learning, all relationships. It's the root of everything. And so if it is at the root of everything, one of the first actions of love is kindness. And that's why maybe Jesus says this. Love your enemies, and then be kind to them. Pray for them. Really not on my radar, Jesus. This whole kindness thing, love thing, and is not on my radar, especially in this kind of situation. He's not talking about being a pushover, so let me just establish that, some nuance there. Jesus is not talking about conflict avoidance. He's not talking about being a doormat. We're confusing niceness with kindness there. Kindness is not any of those things. Kindness requires strength. It requires a certain radical aspect. But I think what Jesus is doing here, more than anything else, he's making a theological claim first. And I think this is very important. And the theological claim is this. It's two theological claims. The first one is this. Notice, you will be acting the way children of the Most High act. Okay, so how do Christians act? Right here. This is the theological claim, that kindness is the highest of values that we could have. It's one of the most important values that we could have, because why? Here's the theological claim number two. What's God like? Well, God is kind to all people. The sacredness and the dignity of all people. And so if we have that, there's no clear black and white answer for every situation. I understand that. But my goal this morning is for you just to lead in with that as a value. That's it. You just to lead in with that as a value. That's it. To lead in